Before you dismiss this as a misogynistic rant, understand, everything I'm describing comes from observing thousands of relationships, including my own mistakes. This isn't an accusation, but a record of patterns so repetitive they feel like laws of physics. There's a mechanism embedded in the female psyche, a program formed in childhood, that makes lasting satisfaction nearly impossible, regardless of external circumstances. Until a man understands how it works, he'll keep trying to fix what cannot be fixed. He'll apologize for what isn't his fault and slowly turn into a shadow of himself. A person desperately trying to make a woman happy who cannot be pleased. It's like trying to fill a bottomless bucket. The repeating script. One of the most common lines I hear from married men is, "Whatever I do, it's never right." He brings flowers, wrong bouquet. He cleans, does it wrong. He works long hours, he's never home. He stays home, he's not ambitious. This constant dissatisfaction and criticism isn't about him. It's about her internal state. I realized this after a series of my own relationships. Different women, different ages, different personalities, yet the same script. First, excitement and euphoria, then growing irritation and discontent. I changed myself, became romantic, too soft, became decisive, too domineering. Did the opposite, the result was the same. The issue wasn't me. The dissatisfaction existed long before me and simply found a new target. Biological and family roots. Part of this truly is biological. Roughly half of personality traits, including optimism versus pessimism, are inborn. Some people are literally born with brain chemistry that pushes them to see the negative in everything. Their default state is complaint, irritation, discontent. Without conscious work, a person like this remains chronically unhappy regardless of circumstances. I've seen families where it passes down like an inheritance, perpetually dissatisfied grandmother, mother, and then daughter repeating the same pattern. But childhood shapes things even more. Almost every unhappy woman shows one of two common backstories, often both. The first is a difficult relationship with her father, absent, cold, or hurtful. The resulting belief, men will always disappoint, settles in deep. She then fulfills that prophecy by choosing disappointing partners or by setting such impossible standards that even good men become disappointing. The second backstory is a chronically dissatisfied mother. The girl grows up watching endless criticism and complaints and absorbs it as the normal template of womanhood. The internal program becomes, this is what love looks like. Even if she swears she won't become her mother, she reproduces the same model because it's the one that feels familiar. Unrealistic expectations and the perfect life myth. Modern culture adds a new layer. The gap between expectation and reality. Girls are raised on princess tales, rom-coms, and glossy images where life is a permanent celebration. They enter relationships expecting constant thrill, worship, gifts, and adventure. Then they meet real life, bills, fatigue, flaws, and feel cheated. They expect love to heal childhood wounds and fill inner emptiness. It doesn't, and the partner becomes the culprit. He's not doing enough. But the truth is the hole inside cannot be filled from the outside. Social comparison and the cult of the unattainable. Social media amplifies this drastically. Every woman now has a window into thousands of perfect lives. She sees gifts, trips, expensive rings, flawless bodies, and concludes she lacks something. Even with a good family and comfort, curated images convince her that others have it better. She doesn't see the debts, betrayals, or emptiness behind those facades. She only sees the shop window and assumes her life is worse. Constant comparison turns gratitude into envy and calm into resentment. The devaluation mechanism. Even when a woman gets what she wanted, her mind flips a value countdown. Once something becomes hers, it loses allure. The man who seemed ideal becomes boring. His care feels smothering. His stability becomes dull, his attention intrusive. Nothing changed but perception, yet she's certain he changed. And the cycle repeats. False masks and inner conflict. Many women don't realize they're living in a role. From childhood, they're taught to be pleasant, smile, adapt, perform to be chosen. They pretend to be easygoing while hiding anxiety, fatigue, or controlling nature. The mask can't hold forever. When it slips, anger and disappointment surface toward the man and toward themselves. A life performed breeds inner conflict. The real me feels unworthy, so I must be perfect. Constant performance creates resentment, and with it, chronic dissatisfaction, lost boundaries, and borrowed values. Modern women often enter relationships without knowing what they truly want. They follow others' expectations, parents, friends, society. They build a life to look good, not to feel fulfilled. The result is burnout, apathy, and the sense of living someone else's life. They choose partners by logic. This is what I'm supposed to do, or for appearances. Then they wonder why they feel empty. Superiority ideology and the absence of respect. A distorted strain of feminism has told many women they are goddesses to be served. But you cannot respect someone you consider beneath you. And without respect, there is no relationship happiness. Some women get so used to looking down on men that they cut themselves off from genuine intimacy. The relationship becomes a transaction. He must earn her attention, and she remains perpetually disappointed. Self-sabotage and fear of peace. The paradox is that many women can't tolerate stability. When a relationship becomes calm, they feel something's wrong. Peace feels suspicious because chaos was familiar in childhood. So the moment harmony appears, they unconsciously manufacture drama to restore the old, known tension. The time trap and the illusion of choice. Add the pressure of biological time. There's a ticking clock to marry, have children, build a family. If she hasn't, anxiety. If she has, disappointment that it didn't bring the expected joy. She ends up feeling late or mistaken no matter what she chooses. The martyr cycle and therapeutic narcissism. The therapy culture poured fuel on this. Instead of taking responsibility for their emotional state, many people endlessly analyze trauma, search for culprits, and demand emotional validation. Psychological jargon turns into a weapon. You're not validating me. You're gaslighting me. This breeds a new egocentrism, therapeutic narcissism. Everything revolves around her feelings, her pain, her healing journey. Happiness doesn't increase, but dissatisfaction does. Why change is hard? Real solutions aren't trendy. They require maturity, honest self-examination, gratitude, letting go of fantasies, and choosing meaning over a constant chase for happiness. It means accepting that life won't be perfect, your partner can't read your mind, and happiness is an inside job. Some women reach this only after several failed relationships. When all the bad men turn out to be different people with the same ending, it becomes clear the common denominator isn't them. Most never get there. It's easier to blame than to change, to complain than to act, to stay unhappy than to risk responsibility for one's own joy. The cost to men. For men, this becomes a trap. They try harder, bend more, apologize more, and lose confidence in themselves, just to earn a smile from someone fundamentally unwilling or unable to be satisfied. They live on eggshells, fearing that any word might trigger a new wave of resentment. But a man cannot heal wounds that aren't his. If she was unhappy before, she'll be unhappy with and after him. You can't gift someone happiness. It can only be grown within. Bottom line, not all women are chronically unhappy, but many carry old programs, injuries, illusions, and expectations that make happiness nearly unreachable. Until they take responsibility for their emotions, replace complaint with gratitude, and trade fantasy for reality, no man, money, or circumstance can satisfy them. A man's true freedom is understanding. Her unhappiness is not his fault. not his duty, and not his mission.